from that trip? Because I know you're very Afrocentric. You've been on the program all the time, speaking about the many things that are affecting our people throughout the diaspora. So I know you have a lot to offload. Once again, welcome to Voices, welcome to WinFM, and let's see what you have to say. Talk to us, please.
Thank you, my brother Socrates. It's a pleasure being here at WinFM at this particular time. As you said, since I've been back from home,
from home,
from home to home,
yeah.
I have not been on any media outlet in terms
what gonna take that, man?
of sharing my experience, because like I tell you, it's like I'm just on a high.
You're on a high.
Yeah, man, I'm just soaking in everything. And it was a pleasure, being home on the continent and Ethiopia in particular.
Ethiopia, that's where I thought it was.
They are in Addis Ababa at the African Union, where the summit took place. The summit between CARICOM, the second Africa CARICOM summit, has brought together African nations, Caribbean states, and the global African diaspora to strengthen unity, deepen integration, and jointly pursue reparations and reparatory justice through a comprehensive transcontinental partnership framework under the theme Transcontinental Partnership in Pursuit of Reparatory Justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I was selected because I'm a member of the reparations committee.
That is correct.
So that's why I had the opportunity to go. Because the conference was all about reparations. So that's why I was selected. But before I go any further, Brother Socrates, I saw the potential, and what we always talk about African unity. I was there at the African Union in Mandela Hall, the main hall where the debate is taking place, to see Africans from all over the world, in the Caribbean, in the diaspora, and on the African continent, coming together to deal with the issues, especially reparations, because all of us is due reparations, you understand? And to see brothers and sisters meet there from all over the African world to discuss a particular issue like reparations, to show you that you see the potential of us uniting as one, but there's a lot of difficulties, there's a lot of obstacles, brother, that we have to overcome. But I'd just like to give you a quote here from His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie, on African unity. Unity is the accepted goal. Today, we look to the future calmly, confidently, and courageously. We look to the vision of an Africa not merely free, but united. In facing this new challenge, we can take comfort and encouragement from the lessons of the past. We know that there are differences among us. Africans enjoy different cultures, distinct values, special attributes. But we also know that unity can be and has been attained amongst men of the most desperate origin. That differences of race, of religion, of culture, of tradition are no inseparable obstacles to the coming together of peoples. History teaches us that unity is strength and cautions us to submerge and overcome our differences in the quest for common goals, to strive with all our combined strength for the path of true African brotherhood and unity. And brother, that is what I see. That is what we have to pursue, and that is what we have to attain. And trust me, even though there's a lot of obstacles and differences among us, we are at a crossroads. The capitalist political economy is in crisis, because you could see what Mr. Trump is doing in terms of putting all kind of tariffs.
Yeah, but what I really want to get...
No, I want to finish, I understand.
Your sense of the whole atmosphere in that Trump is a... Yeah,
we're going to get to that. But what I'm trying to show you, what Trump is doing going to force us together quicker than we think. And I'm going to rest there on that. So what I'm saying to you now is that being in Ethiopia, my brother, it was just a glorious experience. When we went to Shashamani, I'm going to deal with Shashamani in particular.
Okay.
Because we went to Shashamani and we was welcomed royally.
Who don't know better, where is Shashamani?
Shashamani is in Ethiopia.
It's in Ethiopia.
And it was a part of Ethiopia land that was given to brothers and sisters who participated in the Second World War to defend Ethiopia.
Okay.
So His Imperial Majesty gave land anybody who wanted to return to Ethiopia and reside there, they was welcome to Shashamani.
Okay. That explains that.
Yeah, the Rastafari community is the one who basically took up that challenge, and mostly Rastafarians from the West is who live there. And the whole CARICOM
From the West.
Yeah, from in the diaspora, you know. They welcome us, the whole administration in Shashamani and the government structure. They welcome us, they give us a red carpet treatment, my brother.
That is why you ain't coming really, because you're still in your high.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You go out in the ambassador thing, the part of the West Reparation Committee, and come back and you say nothing yet?
Yeah,
What
so
do you think that?
what I said was, it was a glorious experience. You understand, to see how the brothers and sisters welcome us home. You know, a lot of people in the West talk about, oh, them Africans don't want nothing to do with us and all kind of thing, brother. And I'm telling you, my brother, man, what you can explain, you understand the feeling when we went to Shashamani, how they welcome. Because from Addis Ababa to go to Shashamani, you got to take a plane. You understand? There's a lot of...
Okay, in 2 minutes, because we're going to break for commercial in about 2 minutes, break it down, the trip itself, from St. Kitts, the next leg, how long it takes to get there, and then we go by more detail. Just
Okay.
Give us the route.
We went from here. We went from here to Miami. You could say roughly 3 hours.
All right.
From Miami to Turkey, 11 hours.
11 hours from Miami to Turkey, so that's 10 hours travel so far?
Yeah. And from Turkey to Ethiopia, 5 hours.
Okay.
You understand? So what I'm saying to you is that, it's difficult to put it in words how our brothers and sisters welcome us to the motherland, especially in Shashamani. It was, man, the brothers and you had sisters on one side, the brothers on one side, the elders, and the welcome us home.
You're showing me some pictures of you and the reception. Have you posted any of these online?
Yeah, they're online.
Online.
They're
How
online.
come I am not in the room?
They're online.
So it took us roughly 15 hours leaving St. Kitts. Well, that's flying time, but of course you have to go through customs and
yeah. And I'm telling you, my brother, it's like I said, it's like, words really can't. You have to be there to enjoy the spirit, of the ancestors that welcome us home.
I felt a little thing when I went to Ghana, but this is really Ethiopia and the big reception with cabinet, etc.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Here's what. On the back end of the commercial, which is going to take now, we're going to go into more detail as to the preparation. You said you were part of the reparations committee, etc. You spoke about the reception in Shashamani, what that place was, etc., and how long it took you to get there. We're going to break it down and give us more information, right?
Okay.
So Q going to take us downtown to pay credit to sponsors, and we'll be right back.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Oh, welcome back to part of today's presentation of Voices. We're logged on, of course, to winnfm 98.9. And in the studio, we are having a little chit-chat with Ras Kalanji, who a few weeks ago, about a month ago, was it?
About a month.
About a month ago, traveled to Ethiopia as part of the reparations committee. The Prime Minister, a big delegation, and we're just getting some feedback because he said he came back and he's on a high. Right? So, I want to say good morning to Brenda O'Neill. She's over there in Jamaica, and they, staying in tune with us, etc. So, 15 hours flying time from here to Shashamani, the reception with people from throughout the diaspora. You mentioned a brother who recognized you from your days in Brooklyn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you were home.
Yeah, man. The brother, when we went to Shashamani, we had to go into a hall, and all the brothers, most of the community, the Rasta community, who live in Shashamani, they were there at the reception. And when I entered the hall, he approached me, and he said, "What's going on, my brother? Remember the time in Brooklyn, And I didn't recognize him, but he recognized me. You understand? So just to show you, a lot of brothers who resided in Brooklyn at the time, a lot of them repatriated to not only Ethiopia, but Africa in general.
Africa. What's the age dynamics, demographic of the folks that you interacted with? Because from the picture you showed me, that chap would be, what, 60s, 70s?
Yeah, around that, yeah.
Was a younger population of Ras presented there?
Well, the younger ones were born there.
Okay.
Yeah, because when we left there, we went to a particular spot, I think it's the 12 tribes. And because you got Naya Bingi, you got 12 tribes, and you got Bobo. The 12 tribes spot, I saw some young youths there, who are actually born there. And the Rasta culture and movement influence a lot of Ethiopians in that particular region. So they have a lot of respect for Rastafarians. Even at the summit.
So you were like royalty?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, man. I tell you, at the summit, so much people, when they look at me, how I was dressed and everything like that.
Represented? Yeah,
because I was dressed in Ethiopian regalia, right? And being in Ethiopia, they recognized my dress, you understand? And everybody wanted to take pictures and, all kind of stuff with me, So, but it was a really moving experience. Like I said, words can't even explain it. And it shows you the potential that we have. Once we unite as a people, it's all over for our oppressors.
So, okay, let me jump ahead. I want to get your takeaway from the meetings that you've had, the discussions where you have, and where you think we are on the journey, the conversation of reparations, the potential, is there a time frame? Because we deal with many different nationalities, and their objections to acknowledging they're wrong, and the many excuses they're making. But being in that forum, what was the sense you would have gotten in walking away from that those discussions?
Well, the sense that I gather is that by combining brothers on the continent between CARICOM will enforce the pursuit for reparations in a more serious and vigorous way. Because what happens is that when you bring forces like that together and you put pressure on the colonizers to accept these things, it will force them, you understand, to come to a more realistic understanding that, this is a serious issue and they're going to don't care how they try to camouflage it and come up with all kind of excuse. Because there's so much black people living in, let's take England, for instance. Once we organize properly, we don't have to go to England. There's brothers and sisters in England who could, bring our case to the English authorities, demonstration, different ways how we could get it done, and put pressure on them, to really come up now. Not only companies, because a lot of companies now are acknowledging their role in our enslavement, but the British government in particular, we have to put maximum pressure on them in order to bring them to the realization where they could apologize and reparations will be due to us.
Recognition is key.
Yeah.
So here's my question. This would have been the first forum of that nature that you attended. Do you know
No, this is the second.
that you attended?
No, well, I attend first.
First, what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the meeting between CARICOM and the African Union.
This is the second one?
Yeah. The first one was virtual.
Was virtual.
2021 under
Okay.
COVID.
So this was the first actual coming together
Face to
of
face.
the many bodies face to face.
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
forum, and this was in Addis Ababa,
Yeah, in Ethiopia,
In
at the
Ethiopia.
African Union.
African Union.
Yeah. That's the capital of global Africa. I mean, Addis Ababa, brother, it means new flower. That's what it means. And it's like a city like New York, London, Paris. Man, Ethiopia, Addis Ababa is great.
You know, we get the imagery that's posted by design of Africa as a desolate, famine-stricken, war-stricken place. And then when you see we have an obligation to re-educate ourselves about our history, our culture, you find it's different. We find now, because of the advent of the internet, so there's so much information about our people's achievement, our contribution to global development. And it's like shocking a lot of people. If you know yourself, it won't surprise you.
I'm telling you, man.
I have a sense of self
Uh-huh.
that I knew when I was growing up in the USVI in the 60s, etc. And a lot of my peers were like, we had shoe shine boxes. We go downtown to shine shoes. I could not do that. I know within myself, at a young age, I cannot bow down in front of anybody to shine the shoes. The only pair of shoes, well, not, every Saturday, my father would give me his shoes and mine to shine for church on Sunday. Well, that's okay. But you must have a sense of self. So when people are coming to tell you who you are, if you don't know who you are, you're in problems. Right? So I know you've been taking a mantle about African unity through the airways for a very, very long time. So when I saw you there in that forum, I said, what? But then you come back, I call you this morning, you say, well, you haven't been on radio. What going to happen? You arrive, so what's going on there?
Like I said, brother, I just been on a high, you know what I mean? And just can't believe that, I set foot home on the continent.
How long did you guys stay there?
Well, we left here, I think, is on the 10th. And like you said, about 3 days
Yeah,
maximum.
I was overseas. I know. I was overseas.
And what happened is that I went to a forum the second day. The heads of state from CARICOM, they went to His Imperial Majesty Palace, which is a museum.
Oh, because you have his
You know,
palace where he
resided.
Where he resided, yeah.
And I tell you, brother, the Prime Minister insists.
Our Prime Minister?
Yeah.
Okay.
That you have to go there. Right? When we went to Shashamani the last day, when we went to Shashamani and coming back, we had bad weather. Right? So the plane had to go to another airport and refuel and then come back to Addis Ababa. So when we reached back to Addis Ababa, I couldn't go to the museum.
Okay, time waste.
Yeah, but he went there the day before.
The Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister.
Okay.
Foreign Minister Denzel Douglas and all the
Delegates?
Mayor Motley, all the Prime Ministers from CARICOM, they went there on that particular day. But I went to another forum where you had people who lived in Ethiopia from the Caribbean. They had a forum at this particular church in Ethiopia. And it was a side hall to the church. And they was talking about the difficulties that they had. Like I said, there's a lot of difficulties in terms of doing business in Africa. And I spoke at that particular forum. That's why I didn't go to His Imperial Majesty Palace. So the Prime Minister insisted, man, before you leave Ethiopia, you got to go there. Right? But like I said, when we came back from Shashamani, and true, it was bad weather in Ethiopia. Because from the time we reached Ethiopia, it was raining here.
Okay.
And September is the new year. It's the new year. This is 2018 in Ethiopia.
2018?
Yeah, 18.
We are
We have a different.
2025.
Yeah, we have a different calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, You understand? And it was raining every day. It rained when we was in Ethiopia. So what I'm saying is that when we left Addis Ababa in the morning, it was raining to go to Shashamani, but Shashamani is on the lowland. So it wasn't raining in Shashamani. So when we got back to Addis Ababa, it was too late for me to go to the palace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me go colloquial. You ain't get to go to the palace.
No. no.
All right.
Yeah.
You mentioned about some difficulties in doing business in Ethiopia. If you can just walk us through that, because there may be persons thinking about going back to Africa. You say it's difficult to set up a business. What does that mean in English?
No, basically what I was saying there is that brothers and sisters who migrated to different parts of Africa. This sister, I think she said she live in Tanzania, and her husband live in Kenya. I think they're from Jamaica. Either Jamaica or Trinidad, I can't remember. And they was talking about the difficulties they have in different African countries in terms of setting up and doing it. Because it's like, you know, when people come here from CARICOM, you know, we have free movement.
Yep.
When, say you come from Jamaica, you get a 6 months period where you could stand.
Automatic here.
Yeah, you got to leave the country, go back out and come back in. It's the same thing in Africa.
So there are discussions about breaking down those barriers?
Exactly.
Because I know in some African countries they're saying you don't need to have a passport. No, they have that discussion where you can travel.
No, in Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
Particular, right?
Now, Ghana also is looking at that.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that in Burkina Faso, since I came back, the waive all visa restrictions. You have to apply, but you don't have. You're not gonna pay for the visa. You have to apply still, but the waive
for the purpose of establishing the record.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and when I came back, I saw a video where CARICOM, African Union and CARICOM agree now. You don't have to have visas to go to African countries.
Repeat that again for me, please, and our listeners.
You don't have to have visas now
No.
to go to African countries. That's one thing that came out of the summit.
Okay. When I went there about 2 years ago, I applied, but there was an online process. As a matter of fact, my profile was sent to a certain person who operates in the airport. And when I got there, she met me on the walkway. She had my picture on the camera. She'd come with me. And she just walked me through the process. Like that. Well, as to here now, they are actually addressing it as a policy throughout where you don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to ask you, let's see what time you have here now. We are due now for another commercial break. But when we come back, I want to see if you can explain to us whether you were able to break away from the forum, go down to a city, see things on your own, and what your impressions of that were. So, Q going to take us downtown once again to pay respect to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
That's in Mandela Hall at the conference.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
And we're back as we had, it's actually about 10:32, and we have a post from Chris Collins. Huh? Chris Collins is out there. He's saying it's a powerful show, and we need to realize America has nothing. The future is in East. In the East, Africa is a way forward. Now, as I said, there are people out there listening who are in a position to really advance our discussions to a wider audience. I call him the ambassador. You know, he's a, you know him, Chris Collins?
Yeah.
From the town? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's logged on and listening, so we got to feed him. So I was asking him before we took the break about if there were any chance for you to break away from the delegation to actually travel on your own through any part of Ethiopia, just mingle and get your feel of the city.
Basically, we went as a contingent, right? That everywhere we went, we had an Ethiopian delegation taking us different places.
Yeah.
Because, let me say this before going any further. The Prime Minister was the chair for CARICOM.
So he's the current chair for CARICOM.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the president of Angola, I can't remember his name because he's Portuguese. You know, Angola was a Portuguese colony. Mm-hmm. Both of them chaired the summit. You understand? And so it was something special for me to see our Prime Minister being the chair at this particular summit in Africa, at the African Union. So I want to say that off, before I go any further, that it was a joy for me to see our Prime Minister.
That sense of pride.
Yes. Because when you look at it, coming out of the 5th Pan-African Conference that took place in England, that is when a motion took place for Africa, the independence movement for Africa, to really that's when the independence of African countries really started.
Discussion.
Yeah. Ghana in 1957. But you had Sudan before that, but they don't see Sudan as a, when they talk about below the Sahara.
Sub-Sahara.
Yeah, Sub-Sahara Africa. Mm-hmm. So Sudan was the first because Sudan is a black country also. It's not in the north like where the Arabs dominate. So our Prime Minister, chairing that meeting, is showing us now basically, and the President of Angola, now we are on a different move now to really consolidate, you understand, our African unity globally. That is the move now. And I'm saying to our people that it was a joy to see that our Prime Minister was the co-chair of this particular meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
The so-called smallest nation in Western Hemisphere. There are people who have some issues with his outreach. We went to Nigeria. To I forget the name of the forum, but establishing connections, financial, economic.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the best things for the region.
Not only that, you see what I'm saying, being with the prime ministers them from the Caribbean, they're not foolish. They know what is taking place globally. So what I'm saying to you now, the reason why that connection was made, because they want to make a link now, they want to have consistent travel between Africa and the Caribbean.
Definitely.
So now, from here to Nigeria, you could say it's roughly 8 hours. Straight flight.
There was discussion about that out of Barbados or Jamaica a couple
of years ago. Yeah. So what they're trying to...
the reality?
That's...
You're hugging the mic, so...
Yeah, they're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. Not only plane flights, but they want to have boats in terms of development of trade, tourism, every aspect, business. Because I heard the Prime Minister talk about that. I think it's in Nigeria, they love the old road one. There's a lot of business opportunities.
That is ranked as being one of the best rum in the world.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that the 1.4 billion people that is in Africa, when you look at a market like that, the possibilities of
And
doing
let's-
business, and my brother, let me tell you, being there and seeing it, you could actually see the potential that we have when we live with each other. You understand? I met a brother from the Gambia, you know, and when I was in the hotel before we went to the summit, he acknowledged me, you know, we spoke. But when we went to the summit, he approached me again and he gave me his card. He said, look here, make sure you link me. He's the advisor to the president of Gambia.
You're large, man.
You
You're
see what-
connected.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying, my brother?
Yeah.
Is that I met so much people. A brother from Niger approached me. Just the way, because I showed you the picture when I was in Mandela Hall at the conference, right? A brother because I was looking for Burkina Faso. Anyone from the
Delegation.
Sahel states, you know what I mean? That wasn't there. The brother from Niger approached me in Mandela Hall, just the way how I dressed. And he realized that I was from the Caribbean, right? But me and him speaking, I said, look here, the brothers in the Caribbean, we want with citizenship for the Sahel states. He said, don't worry about it. This is my card, we exchange cards. And he said, look here, we're going to organize that. Make sure you link me. You see? So what I show you, just by being
Yeah, the linkages, the possibilities, etc., the connectivity with the people.
exactly. So let's the meeting. Communities strengthening Caribbean Africa.
Back off the mic a bit.
Africa relations through diaspora engagement, climate innovation, cultural and interfaith diplomacy. Because there was a conference also on climate change. I think it was the day after the African Union CARICOM Summit on reparations.
All right.
You see? So there was that summit also. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot of things developing and taking place. So I'm saying to our people that as long as we unite and put pressure on our leadership and the leadership on the continent, but you know, there's a lot of things going to happen for our
So,
people.
had I not called you this morning and asked you if you've been on any of the airways to speak, how would Chris Collins know?
Because
These are people out there who want to know if there's something positive happening, because some weeks ago I saw a post where somebody was lambasting the Minister of Agriculture, saying that they've gone to Nigeria to bring agricultural products here to disenfranchise the farmers, local farmers. You know what I mean? They may have a point, but it's based on when you travel up there, what you discuss. When you come home, you have to speak to the people.
Yeah.
Taking away the option of having to guess about this and speculate.
and I think that's
So
what
what you're doing here is so very, very important. You went out as part of the reparation committee. You're interacting with such. The feedback was so positive, etc., and what the next step is going forward. All people need to know. You are a spokesman, always in radio, and of course, up to now, QA know well. But he probably know you went, because he went. You're in media, you will know.
Yeah.
But you have not had any report, and he's always here. So
you know, I know what you're saying about the Socrates, but this week coming up was the
your
week.
voice is powerful. Q tells me back off the mic, so back off the mic also.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, you know, from this week coming up, I done made the decision to reach out to the media.
Okay.
To give a report, because
Well, you and your own press conference, man. What is this?
so what I'm saying, my organization in New York, what we do because we have direct links with Zimbabwe, and I'll give you this experience. The president of Zimbabwe wasn't there, so he had a representative.
Delegation, okay.
Yeah, because everybody had a delegation, and I approached him, and I said,
You approach who?
The representative
Because
from
you said the president was there, so you approached the rep.
Okay. From Zimbabwe. And I said to him, I'm a member of the December 12th movement. Man, the brother was joyous because we have direct links with with Zimbabwean government. and we discuss and we talk, and you know what I mean. From the time I told him that, he know who I was.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people think that there's no linkages, but we have direct links. My organization, we have direct links with Zimbabwe.
Okay, here's my question. Where was Haiti represented in all this discussion?
Haiti was there.
Well, talk to
Yeah,
us,
Haiti was
because
there.
you see, we talk about Caribbean unity, but then there's a kind of blind eye. Haiti is like an afterthought.
Yeah, man, Haiti, because
So it's so fundamental to know that Haiti was represented there.
Exactly.
What is the takeaway from the discussion we have?
yeah, for instance, all the governments in CARICOM were there. If the Prime Minister wasn't there, a representative was there. Trinidad Prime Minister wasn't there. Jamaica, because they just had elections in Jamaica.
And I got your point. I got the point
You
you're
see?
making. You see, CARICOM, right? Haiti is a part, but it's not really recognized.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a part.
Haiti was there. Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is where CARICOM went. We have delegation from Jamaica, from Barbados, Singles, etc.
All the countries.
I have to pull Haiti out to you. What is this?
Yeah, man, Haiti was there, you know, and they was engaged
Because
in the discussion.
the whole discussion about reparation. Remember, they had to pay forced reparation to France.
Exactly.
So they should factor in greatly.
And that's one of the reason why
Of course.
yeah.
Right. And then I'm hearing that those who came as indentured servants, they're making a case for reparations.
Exactly.
And people find it a little ticklish. You came as indentured, you had servitude, but you were paid.
And you could have returned.
Work off your freedom, your whatever servitude you had, you were paid. Right? And you had a leg up where you invested. And that reminded me, I was going to the phone line. So caller, thanks for calling. You're live on Voices.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Welcome to the program.
Good morning, my lad.
Yeah, good morning, Kalunji. Nice to hear you. I'm here listening to the program, you know, and it's really thrilling to hear. Welcome back to the Federation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting the feeling now that the world is becoming more, well, it is already, but, you know, that the vibration I'm getting, listening to Kalunji, the realization that the world is a global village now, and it sounds even more at our doorstep than it did maybe 10 years ago. Congratulations on your visit, Kalunji.
Yeah, man. And like I said, okay, go ahead.
Only this morning I said on Island T that I listened to some of our African leaders. I was about to listen to our Prime Minister, so I put it on pause until a little later today. But I mentioned this morning with Quint that I listened to some of our African leaders, and one in particular was President William Ruto, because he delivered a very powerful speech at the 80th debate. And I asked myself, and I even commented on social media, where haven't I heard Ruto spoke this way before? Now, Ruto, we listened to him, and he spoke about, I think it was a couple of years ago when he was talking about the global financial architecture and how Africa should be represented there. But I come to find out that Ruto, sadly, in my opinion, he's a double-mouthed president, just like the former president of Ghana, Nana.
I concur with that sentiment.
Now, Ruto spoke about the 100 police officers that went down into Haiti and says that Kenya have brought stability in Haiti. Yet, United Nations says that the unrest is still ongoing in Haiti. I think it was last month, early this month, I mentioned about a private military group by the name of Blackwater that is presently in Haiti today.
Blackwater.
Now, this group, yes, Blackwater is in Haiti.
Yep.
To fight the instability that is in Haiti that was created
By them.
by them. Now, this Blackwater, these people are high-tech weapon that they have in Haiti. So for William to say that Kenyan police have brought stability, you know, and the United Nations is saying that the unrest is going, you know, the design that the chaos that they created, we need to let them know that we know what they are capable of. Because you see, they take pleasure in shedding blood. They take pleasure in shedding blood by even putting 1,000 Kenyan police to go down into Haiti. It's going to be black against black. Our politicians need to let the United Nations know that we know your capabilities. I mean, when you look at what's been going on in Africa by France, they're still in the militaries are still in Africa. They claim they're there to fight jihadists, but yet the jihadist groups are getting more weapons, and the question is asked, where are they getting these weapons from? Now, Kulunji, I am very happy. Like I said, the energy, the vibration, and the everything. Because what you are doing now in here, Kulunji, and my interaction with you, our words are power. Because what is happening in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, we are not seeing any weapons of death. Words and power is our ammunition and our unity, because the Sahel region did not come up against them with weapons. We're talking about France, America military being kicked out without a single weapon of death. And our leaders need to educate their people, because if I'm going to use Ruto as an example. When Ruto spoke just recently, it was with authority. But in my opinion, do they allow him to speak like that at the forum, but behind closed door, Ruto become what? A lapdog? Like, okay, I'm going to implement your agenda. Gentlemen, you see the picture that I'm putting forth here?
Yeah.
Say, or they allow him to speak that way, but behind closed doors, we are getting a different picture. His words does not match his actions. No, I'm willing to give Ruto a chance, because really I'm really doesn't see Ruto delivering according to his speech. But
Okay.
at his recent speech, let us give him time and see, because you see, this revolution that is going on in the Sahel region, it is going to spill over, because we are seeing Nandwaita of Namibia, and I think his name is Boro of Botswana, and also President John Mohammed of Ghana delivered a very profound speech as well. I can't say, like I said, I was about to listen to my Prime Minister this morning, but then I put it on pause. I'm going to listen it later. But Kulunji, in all, the energy and the vibration, the world is a global village. We want our gateway to go back and forth, where we don't have to go through Babylon to enter our continent.
All right. Well, thank you for that contribution. Long time I haven't heard your voice, so it's good to know you're live and kicking. We're going to take back downtown Q for another commercial break before we come back and about the first hour.
Found the South 98.9.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is
It's 10:52, and we logged on to Voices. For us, it's winnfm 98.9 on your FM dial. As we say, good morning to Amber over there in Anguilla. Now, I had a question I was asking you a minute ago. And the lines are open, okay? We're going to keep the lines open for any interaction. Anybody wants to talk to the great rascal who went to Ethiopia, etc. Yes, you went there as a member of the St. Kitts Nevis Reparation Committee. So were you able to make any presentation on your own, or were you just along for the ride? Let me know what you did.
No, but basically, the way we structure at the summit, only the heads could speak, and the representatives in the main hall.
But were you recognized as part of a delegation and block, or?
Exactly. Now, like I told you, they had a forum bringing communities, strengthening Caribbean and Africa relations to diaspora engagement, climate innovation, cultural and interfaith diplomacy. This took place, right, at the historic Holy Trinity Cathedral. So that's what I was telling you about before, that when the sister made the presentation, that the difficulty they have in terms of
business
and stuff like that. I spoke at that forum.
You have a recording of it? I mean, you're making history.
Yeah, I have a recording of it.
Well, you give your copy?
Yeah, not as yet. But I spoke at that forum, you know, and like I say, it was historic. Before I went to Ethiopia, Brother Aya, here, he have links with our brother in Ethiopia named Ruben Kush. So when I went to the forum, that's where I met him, you know, Ruben Kush, and he spoke there also. But I was trying to get the full recording of the brothers in Ethiopia to send it to me, but I haven't received it as yet. So when I get the full recording, you know, I relate to the media houses, so probably they could hear it at some future time.
That'd be good.
You know,
because we want to know that we are represented out there, who representing us, and what you say in those forums. And we know you walk around town and we see us, but hey, he's out there in a very important international forum, and this is what we're getting from that. People feel that the trips that we make is just a waste of money.
Exactly. And let me tell you this, Brother Socrates.
That's why it's important when you return.
Yeah.
You gave an accounting of what you did. You were out there on this particular platform doing so and so, give an accounting.
Since I come back, people ask me, well, why you bring back from Africa? you know, people in me. And they don't understand.
But then they won't understand unless you come in a program like this and speak to them.
And let me tell you this, it's not easy. It's a lot of work, you know. It's a lot.
Is very tiring.
How you mean?
Travel alone is exhausting.
It's a lot of work. So
when you come back, remember you are representing, and so you are the representative. So the challenges and sacrifice that you go through, when you come back, you owe an accounting.
Yes, that's the truth.
You owe an accounting.
You know, so
I have to ask where you bring back.
Yeah, I know our people now. You know, we like to say that, oh, they're just traveling up and down. No, it's a lot of work, my brethren. It's not easy to schedule this and do that, you know. But like I'm saying.
Let me ask you something, Kalenji, because I kind of differ. I don't take anything. So you went and you said that this was to do with reparations, right?
Yeah.
So we want you now to tell us, has the conversation of reparation been advanced? Where is it at a standstill? Where is it going? What came out of the discussion? It is all good to hear that you went there, but what are the fruits of your travel?
Well, the fruits, you're going to see the fruits coming forward, coming out of this summit. Because, like I said to Brother Socrates before, by we linking with brothers on the African continent and talking about reparatory justice, we have now a clearer sense of what we're dealing with, and we could put more pressure on the forces.
But we the people don't have that view. So this is why I'm saying, to now you've not said to us what was discussed there that dealt with, for instance, it was good to hear Socrates pull out of you that Haiti was there, right? Because Haiti is a perfect example of why we should be paid reparation, because Haiti was forced to pay reparation, and only just the other day finished paying reparation. So we want you now, Kalonji, from the Rastafari aspect, from the black conscious aspect, to tell us what you garnered that has furthered the conversation. Don't tell us, because your answer is political, like sounding like the politician. You're going to see the fruits in the future. That's what politicians say. We want you to tell us, well, I went to this meeting and I met so and so and so, and we discussed so and so and so, and next year so and so, we'll further. That's what we want to hear.
Well, I see my role now as, like I said, the conference strengthening the repertory justice, that to educate our people more about what reparation really is, because they don't have the proper understanding. So now my role now, you understand, is to really get down in the communities throughout the country and really spread the reparation message, so it could give our leadership more strength now to pursue the whole question about reparations.
Kalonji, with all due respect, Kalonji, we know about reparations. We know what it is.
No, I don't think our people have the proper understanding.
Oh, so you have an understanding, but you're underestimating
No, I'm not.
the
No,
rest of us.
no. What I'm saying, okay, for instance, my estimate of what these people ask is $500 trillion.
Look, we don't want figures. We want you to say, when you went to this place in Addis Ababa, what discussions you had, and how has it furthered the conversation? You have a caller in the meantime.
And your live on voices.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sister Henry, welcome to the program once again.
Yeah, man, I see everybody turn African.
I African long time.
But I born African, you know, because they always say, me send your face black.
That's okay. That's okay. Go right ahead.
I know where it's time when they say the black people go over there.
Go
The
ahead.
white go over there, so then the other mix-up group and have to stand up and wonder if they must go so or so. Anyway, welcome, Kalonji.
Thank you, Miss Henry.
Man, you're moving in big circles in high grass. The man in such high grass, he didn't even ask us our opinion, so he could have walked with it.
But here's it.
Eh?
Right? I had to call the man. The man gets so big. He's normally
The
here
man done
week
turn
after week.
bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie. Yeah, look. He mix and mingle with the top, you know.
Oh, yeah, I tell you.
He and him gone in the village to see what, well, you know. And he got an excuse for what he ain't do. Hey, we gave you all of that, you know. You didn't have to pay, right?
No, the government deal with that.
So you got to watch your mouth, you know. You can't just talk what you want and what you think. You're being bought.
Well, if you say you see it.
But what? Who wants to see? So that was an investment in you.
But
All of us.
it's an investment for us to. I've been preaching
But how
for
come I
us
said
to
you-
unite.
How come I saying you were going?
Say that again.
How come
We
all
did
of
know
us
in
said did not know you were
advance.
going?
Because it was on short notice.
No, that had to do like anyway. Let me get to a point.
Yeah.
No, well, I have met a number of Africans, When I went to the IMF twice, a lot of Africans come in. Some of them, they were doing French courses. Those who did English were in our course. Nice people. The only thing I had was when I met the people from Ethiopia. I said, well, these ain't black, really black people. I met 2 times I went. Yes, straight, you know. They're more like the Arabs to me. And I met a male and I met a female. But they're all nice people. South African, I met one. A nice person, you know. Because you deal with on the personal level. The national level may be different. Now, in Nevis, because this is a good strategy. Since we have such strong connection with Taiwan, Nevis was able to get them to send somebody here to teach the children the language. We have been talking about, we lost our language. We went. Don't you think it's a good idea to get somebody to come and go to our schools, maybe Baptist, because we have a number of schools, and teach it?
Which language are you speaking about?
Yeah, they'll be choosing which one you all choose.
Swahili?
You choose it. Eh?
Swahili?
Right. I'm Yoruba, because I think in America they teach Yoruba, sir.
I think that's a great idea. It's long overdue. It should be done.
But,
Yeah.
but right now, the governments are making links with different universities. I think the University of Tanzania.
This government.
Yeah,
Okay.
in terms of having
To do what?
chapters here, in terms of corresponding with the university,
So
and in Africa.
Okay. So introduce the linguistics of it.
No, not the link. Basically, taking courses. I don't know about the language
You know
part.
what? You know what?
In different.
You know, when I went to India, you know, a lot of Africans go to India to study because it's cheaper.
Okay, but what I'm saying that there is a link now between CARICOM and the University of Tanzania, in order for
what?
our people to go there to study, and they come here and also. And
Let
also.
me
What she
tell
was
you what they
speaking
could learn
about,
anywhere
she was
else.
speaking about trying to establish in our curriculum an African language.
I understand, but I don't know about that part. That's what I'm saying. I don't
Okay.
know. That could be developed. You know? But we got people here who could teach Swahili. There's a brother here from Kenya.
Yeah, but it's not part
You're
of the
go-
school's
you're going to
curriculum.
engage them.
Yeah, but we used to do it at the community center in
And you all wouldn't get and you all wouldn't show up at the classes. Ask Africa.
Now listen what I'm saying, Miss Henry. I establish that in terms of learning Swahili at the Newtown Community Center. We used to have classes in the evening.
So what happened?
So somehow it just
You lost
disintegrated.
So it start with you all. Now let me tell you. You remember Nital?
Yeah.
Nital used to teach on the TV. You remember that?
Of course.
You all could use the same channel.
You reach a wider audience.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you need sponsorship? Is what the challenge?
I know. I
Did you
I
guys
really
take
don't
the
know.
time, think of
And
that
this is
time, of
national
course?
education.
Yeah. But like I saying, I think I mentioned it to the Deputy Prime Minister already in terms of putting
Minister of
Swahili.
Education, the current one?
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of putting it in the schools. Let it be part of the educational process. You know?
And you know, some of the medical students, they stay here. You could hire them. I think some of them teaching in the schools. We could achieve what we want. Now we want some cultural exchange. Even our children, I don't know if you remember in the old time days, the children in Bastia who did French. Every Easter they would have exchange. Some would go up and spend maybe weeks with the family, and then the exchange, they will come now and do the same thing. These are things you can do.
Exactly.
But we like to talk, you know. Oh, African, who got Africa and who got Africa so.
It's just
We got Africa so.
it's just a matter of organization.
Well, maybe, I don't know if you know, but in Antigua, on Observer Radio, I don't remember the man named Francine. He carries groups of Antiguans to Ghana, and they go across the border and so. I think up to last year they went and they carried mostly 50 people. They say not coming so much this time. You all do something, I tell you that they talk about Africa this and Africa that and who do Africa. But what we do for ourselves?
But at least a conversation was had, Sister Henry.
Huh?
At least a conversation, they're ongoing conversations. You have to start somewhere.
But we got to pass that.
Knowing
We
the
talk
many-
too long and talk too
knowing-
much.
I understand that, but knowing the many challenges that we face as a people throughout the diaspora, we have to applaud when there are conversations and forums put in place.
I applaud,
to
but I'm
start
saying that
something.
we're not doing enough. I'm sick of hearing about, oh, what they do to Africa. What we do to ourselves. It's time enough we pass that.
No. You can't do that.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
That is why we're asking for reparation.
The
We're saying,
Jews
look, hello,
will
we
not
are
have
saying,
you believe that. What is it? Never again?
Yeah, never again.
Never again. We can't say let's get past that. We cannot.
Well,
Because
I'm
those
saying-
folks are still pushing their agenda to really.
Yeah, but the topic must be reparation.
That is what it was all about.
And we can, we saying you owe us 5 billion. How can we get it?
Trillion. That's not secondary, but the fact is you're discussing it, and you're gonna have various opinions. But the fact
And
is,
we
it's
need
taken
to
more serious
say
on a
how
broader
much
platform.
Africa owes us reparation to, you know.
Second,
Africa owes us reparation
do
to.
not complicate the issue, Sister Henry. Do not.
What are you talking
Do
about?
not complicate the
If
issue.
they collect the people and ship them and
Miss
sell them,
Henry, Africa was conquered.
watch me. Well, we conquering them back. They owe us. You see, until you all are not honest, all of those who raid the
I
African
have a
villages,
book, a brother
I
from
don't care what
Ghana,
you say.
that spoke about the slavery that happened there. I have a book that acknowledged that slavery was part of the culture, how it was done.
Let's support us.
The transatlantic slave trade was a different thing in
Listen to what
1493 when Pope
I say.
Alexander.
Part of the culture became monetized when they begin to trade black people.
Yeah, but at this stage, we're looking at
Iron pot, hoe,
reparation. We
machete.
can't be talking about Africa owes reparation too.
They owe us.
That's a non-starter.
Yeah,
That's a
we're not
non-starter,
honest.
Sister Henry.
You went to
Where?
Ethiopia, and a lot of them there from the countries that ship out our people. They're part of the discussion. They
So
must
you're going to interject that angle into a discussion of why the reparation for African people?
and inject their part of it. You see, this is like when somebody doing something. Oh well, it's my uncle child, and he ain't got nothing to do with them. So you charge one and you ain't charge the rest.
A doctor
Until
told
they
me-
ask, watch me. You say you ain't Ghana, and Ghana acknowledge their part, right?
Hear this. A doctor told me about a month ago that Socrates need to lose 20 pounds. And I told her, I'm going to fight you on this. Well, you and me, we're going to lock you with this one. I'm going to fight you on that.
You're in the fight with shadow.
That's all right. I'm going to fight you on that
truth
angle.
is,
You cannot
Africa
interject
owes
right
us
now for
reparation.
Africa owes reparation. Who's the us?
And Colombia is a big reparation, man. You ain't tell
Miss
some of
Henry,
them so?
I don't agree with that because what you gotta understand, Africa was invaded, and Africa was invaded.
But you just sell the people.
No, Miss Henry, no. That's
Yeah, no.
that's
This is why we don't get on, you know. We asking other people who are guilty. And because these come from Africa, they're guilty, and they are the main ones. If you don't go on the market potato to sell, nobody can buy potato.
What I'm going to say, the Christian church...
Anyway.
Go ahead.
You are excusing Africa.
Yeah,
they're not excusing anything. So what you want to tell me,
But
Miss
you
Henry? Let me ask you a question. So you want to tell me that, let's take Haiti in particular, right? The United States is the one who mashed up Haiti. You're going to blame reparations for that?
No, I blame Africa for that.
You blame Africa for that?
They caught the Haitians people. Bring them down there and allow, cause if they were not down there, they couldn't take them. We got to be honest. France should pay back with interest.
Miss Selvin,
America is
Miss
fighting
Henry,
Castro
Miss
because they
Henry,
want back
Miss,
the land.
Miss Henry, and this is why sometimes I'm so disappointed when people get on forums and because
But
here, not
the
you,
truth is
Miss
the
Henry,
truth, eh?
not you, Miss Henry, but
I understand, but
Socrates is
even
on one.
so, won't mind.
Socrates
am
is on.
saying-
Let me finish, Miss Henry. Socrates
Go
is
right
on
ahead,
one
brother.
side.
Go right ahead.
Socrates is on one side, Kalonji is on one side, and none of them can even defend the thing. Look, this was a case of supply and demand, right?
Thank you.
There was a demand created by the colonialists, and as Kalonji was saying, they went in and they conquered Africa. When you conquer a people, the people have no choice. A lot of the rhetoric that you hear coming out is from the conqueror. The conqueror conquer, and then we hear all the propaganda. Yes,
Who control
yes.
the supply side? Who control the supply side?
The conqueror,
demand was
listen,
there. The
listen.
demand was
The
there.
conqueror controlled both supply and demand.
Exactly.
This is what people don't understand.
So where we come in? Where did we come in as Africans?
We had to do it because we were conquered.
We had no choice.
Africans are intelligent people.
so intelligent people can't be conquered. But look at the difference. When people bring that as an argument to say that Africans sold Africans, the Moors went, the Africans conquered Europe. Europeans don't want to admit that. But is there any part? Listen. Is there any part? Is there any part in our history of our conquest of Europe that we sold any slaves? So how is it when we conquered them, we never had no transatlantic or whatever of selling white people, but when they conquered us, they were selling. You can't see the disparity. You can't see the difference. It is obvious.
How did the Irish get here?
Look, I don't care. Look, I don't care about Irish. I don't care about Irish
England brought them here.
because Irish don't care about us. As a matter of fact, you speak about Irish. The Irish are just as racist as the white people.
But when they went, where they went, they were treated like black people.
Look, you see, Miss Henry, I do not assimilate any other race with my race. Do not bring, when you're trying to bring a comparison, any other race with the black race. No other race has been treated like the black race.
That's true.
We conquered the world before. We educated the Greece that they use as their example of development and everything. We taught them. We are being honest. The honest truth is that black people, yes, some black people sold people, but it's because the Europeans were there, and the Europeans went in there and divided and conquer and put them in positions where they would fight against the same thing they did with the Red Indians. That is the history. Before you think the Red Indians were fighting amongst one another when the Europeans landed on Plymouth Rock? They were. But the Europeans developed it to an art where they put them so much against one another that they almost disseminated one another. And then the Europeans came in with the guns.
You get my point. You get my point.
And then the Europeans came in with the guns.
We must be able to stop. We must be able to stop and think.
But Miss Henry, we're stopping and thinking.
We are allowing the African people who sold their people to go scot-free.
No, they did not. They did not sold their people voluntarily.
No. They hand them over.
And this is the
let me leave you on.
And this is the kind of argument that you hear. You hear it in Christianity. You hear it in all of these different things, right? Our people we feel better to push everybody's agenda when we should be pushing our own. So here we're pushing for reparations. And I'm disappointed in Kalonji, yes, because he should have been able to come and tell us more about. But put that aside. He and I and Kalonji and Miss Henry, we're all on the same ship. We're all black people. So when it comes to reparation, don't bring in anything about anybody. And when it comes to us, it is us against them, because it is them against us. Stop waiting until when we're supposed to be uniting and we are loving them to divide us. Hello, caller? Hello, caller. Okay. Sorry, guys, to jump into your
My
show,
thing
but
is,
there's
right?
certain things I don't let.
You were saying that Kalonji on one side, I'm on another side, and we can't come. That is not the point, you know.
That is the point.
There's certain things and certain topics I don't discuss with some people because you're going to get nowhere.
But this is
I can articulate that same point. I bought books. I have a book that speaks about slavery in Africa before the arrival of the Europeans. So I know the elements of it. But to say now, every time you advance the position of reparation, you're going to find those people with other people's narrative.
That's what I'm saying.
Into the conversation.
But when you don't, you don't try to kill her argument.
You spoke about the Christianity mindset. It will always be there.
But Kalonji and Socrates,
so
when you say you're not going to discuss it, and don't use it, when you say you're not going to discuss it with her, you understand what she was doing? She was pushing her narrative, and for a young person who just pushed the button and was listening for the first time, what do you think they're going to hear? They're going to hear only her side. So don't use any excuse. You must push your side.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, right, is that what we people don't acknowledge. We were conquered. Africa was invaded. When they deal with other people, right, the United States invaded Iraq.
What I really wanted you to discuss is the trade.
We have a call.
Right? Let's take a call before we call your live on voices.
Yes, hello. It is me. Greetings once
It is
more in
you.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
What do you have voice again,
Yes.
sir?
Yes. Well, I kind of agree with certain things Miss Henry said. But the truth of the matter is that during the slave trade, Europeans, remember, the slaves came from West Africa. During the time of the slave trade, Europeans did not went into Africa and conquer Africa or invaded Africa. That happened after the slave trade had finished. It was tried like the Dahomey and that sort of stuff.
What are you talking about?
And we are saying that you all have been saying that the Europeans went in Africa, conquered Africa, and captured
Slave
African
trade
slaves.
was finished around 1834. Before that in England, well, as far as the British, because you find
1807.
1807, you find Portugal, Brazil, they still continued, right?
Right.
But in terms of you saying that Africa was conquered after 1807, what are you talking about?
Yes, because that is after the slave trade finished. And when they developed medicine for malaria, that is when Europeans went into West Africa. West Africa. Of course, Europeans were in North Africa, Europeans were in East Africa. But for the slaves that came here, Europeans, they came from West Africa, and Europeans did not went into West Africa at the time during the slave trade. It's after it finished. Now, the Arab Muslims and African tribes together during the time of the slave trade is who supplied the Europeans with slaves. And not only that. Remember, we are talking about the West African portion where we got our slaves, where slaves came from. What the Africans and Arab and Muslim Arabs did, they captured Africans, we're talking about West Africa, they made them their slaves, and they gave some of their slaves to Europeans. That's how the Europeans got these slaves during the slave trade. There was not that they
There
went into
was
Africa.
another slave trade long before the Atlantic slave trade. I forget what it was called at the time frame, but that was happening in parts of Africa. It's huge. It is huge. So there was a slave trade. It was called the trade of bones. Was it that went into the Sahara?
Yes.
That was before the Atlantic slave trade came
You're talking
about.
about the trans-Saharan slave trade, which was
Correct.
Arab Muslim thing.
Right.
Right, which was, but I thought about
But
the
this narrative that is Africans totally responsible for slaying Africans into slavery, that is a concussion used to justify the atrocities imposed on Africa and its people.
It's like no. You hear?
So we're discussing reparations, and the many countries around the world who recognize that we need to have a discussion. And what we're hearing now, or we need it from Africa too.
But hear this. Hear
So
this.
that's a negative. I will not entertain that.
Hear
I
this.
understand the point you're trying to make him, but you find I am not going to go down that road.
Exactly.
You're gonna end up nowhere.
What Quinn said was powerful. Listen me now. Look at the situation now with Maduro, with Venezuela and America. Trump said Maduro is trafficking drugs, and it's a total lie. That's what they do to us. In order to justify what they're going to do, they come up with a story. So they say that we sell ourselves. They're the ones who organize the slave
You're
trade.
clipping on the mic because you're coming through a bit strong.
They're the ones who organize the slave trade. And then the one
I'm sorry we got sidetracked.
But that,
with
That's
this
for me.
This is not a
Like-
sidetrack.
like
This
the
is a
whole African-
discussion, so it could go wherever it goes, and you must accommodate it because you must accommodate. Our discussion
It is
is
called
not
voices,
stationary.
understand? It's called voices, a discussion for everybody's point of view,
Yes.
right? I invited a guest to speak about his trip to Addis Ababa and the whole thing about reparation, that discussion, all right? That statement by Sylvan Henry, Sister Henry, about we should demand reparation from Africa too.
We're not just Africa, but the Muslim Arabs as well.
But let me ask you.
But I don't know. Hold on. I don't go with this reparation argument. So I don't think this reparation thing in the first place. I don't give any credence to it. So I don't go with demanding reparations from Africa, demanding reparations from
So didn't
Arab
France?
Muslims.
So didn't,
Europeans. I don't go along with
so
that.
so Greg, didn't France demand reparations from Haiti and demand it through the help of America and Britain and the rest of those colonizers?
Yes.
And
As I'm made to understand, yes.
and did they get it? Did they get reparations?
Well, as a matter of fact, I think it was just somebody just said they just recently pay off the
Yes.
reparation.
Okay. So if it is right and just for
No, it
them,
ain't right.
Oh,
It ain't just.
okay. Well, okay. Let's put
It
aside
was
whether.
an evil, wicked thing.
So let's put aside whether you feel it is right or just. But we as a black people, we feel if you can take and get reparations from us who were the captive, and you exploited us and then had the unmitigated gall to demand that you wanted reparations because we were your property, we demand reparations, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I see the whole thing, all of them, whether European demanding of Haiti reparations or vice versa, whatever, because we, the present generation, were not the one who were enforcing it, are suffering from it. But today, like the Bible said, the fathers are not to be punished for the children, and the children are not to be punished for the fathers. So I see it as illegitimate for us today.
The Bible said that in one point, and then the very same Bible say, go into that place and slaughter the men, the women, the children, even the dogs.
Yes. Yes.
So then
Yes.
don't come and tell me if you're gonna give me one side of the Bible story, give me all the sides. So don't tell me the Bible don't tell me the Bible said that one side and say, well, the fathers or the sons are not to pay for the sins of
But I
the
don't see
fathers.
the connection with that and the reparation arguments. I don't see the connection.
If you're saying, if the Bible says, and this is where you are pretend to be blind, if the Bible says, kill the mothers, the fathers, the babies, even down to the dogs, you don't understand what the Bible is saying? The Bible is saying, don't leave anyone to carry on the generations. Kill them off.
But I don't see the connection between that and the reparation argument we have at present. I don't see the connection.
The connection is what you just bring. You just brought in that the Bible said that the sons are not to pay for the sins of the fathers. I am saying that other statement. I am saying that other statement proves the fact. Here's what the Bible is saying: kill off all of them, so they ain't got no sons to pay for nothing. Cause you're gonna kill even the dogs. So you kill their generation. And this is why Israel is doing what they're doing right now, because they're using biblical doctrine to do it.
Yeah, but it wasn't for this time. We are under a better covenant now, so that wasn't for this time. And God has the right. If only God has the right to demand such a thing. Nobody else have any right to demand such a thing.
Could I say something?
Back to Kalonji and Socrates.
But going back to the
let's take a commercial break, because just as Socrates says, we'll entertain you to a point, but then we'll discontinue because you're one who we'll never get anywhere with.
Ready to save on your bill? Now you can at Builders Paradise. Club points at Builders Paradise. That's right, Value Club members and your favorite frequent buyer club is now available at the home of hardware and more. Whether you're laying tiles, painting walls, replacing doors, upgrading windows, or fixing up your home, every purchase at Builders Paradise now earns you Value Club points. Enjoy exclusive benefits like discounts on thousands of items, special savings for seniors, instant deals, quarterly rebates, plus an extra up to 2% off every quarter. Shop more, save more, and more only at Builders Paradise. Don't miss out. Start building your rewards today with Value Club at Builders Paradise, because every bolt, board, and brush brings you closer to bigger, better savings. Terms and conditions apply.
heated debates that ensued over the past 20 minutes, and it's all part of the program called Voices. We entertain calls and various opinions, etc., but sometimes it's non-productive.
Yeah, but
right?
I want to say it.
I'm not trying to monopolize, but I really wanted to get from you the essence of the trip that you went on. And let's take a caller. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Sakuti, good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, and good morning to your guest, Waskalunji.
Yes.
Back home. Back home.
We're hearing you.
Man in Africa fight for land, but he think it's we are giving land.
Yeah. There's another point of view. Go ahead.
Sakuti,
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate the freedom fighters and fighters, DJ Marisha, and the Nevis contingent, the People's Action Movement, and the PLP movement. I want to congratulate them for a brave move they had taken. We know people come out to support, but the people them don't know how politicians run this thing in secrets, but we're going to change it. All them kind of things, them fear when they're trying to put in people, when they stand up for the democratic right, we will change those things. If not by the X, by the other one, the boom boom.
We're not going to go down there.
The other thing I want to talk about is that I listened to a speech here from Mia Mundley. It's good that she, highlight a lot of things in the Middle East, but they have the international camera. View the camera down here. Why is it our CARICOM leaders, them hands stand up and walk out to the atrocity by Donald Trump, wicked friend, where he defending, sending bombs to kill people, getting the popping up the managed weapons to kill people. Why we CARICOM leaders, especially since it's Nevis Prime Minister, just sit down like a damn louse. I talk about here, watch a man, killing poor people. When I turn on my TV late at night and go through these things, I can't believe a tired ball. And Prime Minister stand up, listening to the man talking instead of let the walk out. Listen, Sakwa. Hello, Sakwa, are you still there?
We're listening you.
I want you to listen to the guy in, what do you call the place? Colombia.
Yep, he spoke.
If he spoke,
They took away his visa.
man, he spoke bravely. You're going to see the applause because he went at them, He went at the wicked set of people. We're going to X out all of them. Donald Trump better watch himself because if he know what's coming for he will know. Nobody going to do him long, If this is until you wait. Let them ahead play with people, taking life where they can't give. Killing people and the man supporting it. Got it like a joke. The Colombian man rub it in. Me and man, them not gonna be real. When they're afraid, that's your democratic right. People put you up there. Don't afraid to talk when you're on the world stage. It's there you're supposed to talk. It's there you're supposed to talk.
She did give a speech.
When Prime Minister in there, Brazil should know better talk. Brazil should have walked out. Brazil should have never stayed there. And take all that from a man. Murdering children. Murdering children. Have a good morning, Secretary, you and your guest.
Much appreciated. Thanks for the contribution. I want to congratulate you on being a platform speaker on the event on 26, but I want to admonish you. And I want to apologize on behalf of winnfm for the statement with a slip about, if not this by the boom boom, we don't advocate for any form of violence against any other people, political or otherwise. So we will engage in any discourse, heated or otherwise, but we're not going to suggest that if not by this means, by any boom boom, we're not doing that.
And I'm glad you said that, because I realized that recently a lot of our people, because they want things to go their way and it doesn't seem to be going as fast as they would like it, they're bringing in this boom boom thing.
We're not doing
and
that.
it's not going to be
we
to
don't
our
advocate
benefit.
that here.
Our
We're not going to
sons,
support
our daughters and ourselves by being the crosshairs. You see that guy over in the U.S. who recently got killed, who
Oh,
Trump is trying to
you
push up?
advocated
That was
that?
his rhetoric.
You advocated that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so, and they're taking umbrage with people saying it is what he called for.
You have a caller.
We go back to the phone lines, go to caller, you live on Voices.
Yes, quickly, guys, gentlemen, sorry. I just want to say, right, now, after listening to Quint's input in his interjection, I support what Quint is saying. However, we have to recognize that Kalonji also indicated that it was short notice, his visit. You see, we can get excited with... Hello?
We listen, you're live on the radio still.
Yeah, we do get excited for a visit to the continent, and maybe it overshadow our agenda, our plight for our unity and our education. So, it sounds kind of disheartening that, maybe Queen Kalonji didn't put something together. And as he said, that it was a late notice that he was invited to go on that trip. But going forward, I think whenever the opportunity presents to anyone, we have to bear in mind that we are about our unity and knowledge of self, and also our inheritance, because what is on the continent is our inheritance. They don't want us to link up with that, and that is by design. So we have to unite and have a plan going to the continent. I mean, look at agriculture. Agriculture is our number one because there's no culture out of agriculture. So, Kalonji, you might want to consider, if the opportunity presents you again, have a plan. Our education, our unity, and our inheritance. The resources on the continent, we are entitled to it. And for Mrs. Henry, respectfully, Miss Henry is she's an intelligent, ignorant person. I'm saying this respectfully. I'm saying this respectfully, because she and I converse off here. It is sad to hear her saying that the Africans also sell it, and she's adamant about it. But Mrs. Henry is unaware of what is happening now. She's so unaware of what is happening today, presently, on the continent. And to just re-echoing those sentiments about African soul and we should get reparations from Africans. We are a people that was traumatized and we were divided. And our unity, because we were a collective before any other race came into our space. We were a collective. And they divided us. And that trauma, it is deep and it's very psychological. I listen.
Thank you very, very much for that input. It's like blessed are the peacemakers. Let me segue to something separate for a while. Asata Shakur.
Yeah, I'm glad you raised that, my brother. I forgot all about that. Sister Asata Shakur passed away, I think about 2 days ago or something like that. Mm-hmm. And, I'm glad you raised it because, I have to highlight it. Sister Asata Shakur was a member of the Black Panther Party. And we give homage to her because of the struggles and difficulties that she went through. She was set up and imprisoned in the United States, and the Black Liberation Army got out of jail, basically. So we say big up to Sister Asata Shakur. She have gone to the ancestors, and we have enough respect for her because that sister exemplifies basically what the African liberation struggle is all about and all the difficulties that we went through as a people, particularly in the United States. And a lot of people is not aware of her.
They know the name Angela Davis.
Yes.
But in terms of what she did, the contribution, the struggles, and the liberation that took her out and where she got refuge in Cuba.
Yeah.
And they received her and gave her, refuge. During Barack Obama's tenure in office, the other folks were trying to get him to demand her return to the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Extradition.
Extradition to the U.S. And I'm looking at, because of her biography and stuff like that, a lot of folks in the region, we don't know these things.
Exactly.
We don't know. And we think that it's separated apart from us because, as a matter of fact, the comment by Mr. Manners a while ago about expecting the Honorable Denzel Douglas to stand up or walk out when the thing was speaking, a lot of them want to hold on to the visa. A lot of them want to hold on to the visa. So even though their internal conviction is not with Netanyahu and what's they stay quiet.
But listen this.
The Prime Minister from Colombia, his visa was denied. They revoked his visa. But you have to know when you can flex and speak out. Irregardless, I'm in total support of what he did, what he stands for. Because that forum is called United Nations. You're supposed to go there and represent your point of view in that supposed to be neutral forum. But there are folks who want to send us an agenda and they cannot take that. Right? So we can't be too harsh on our leaders for choosing diplomacy when at a time it may serve us better. We're not in their shoes. We shouldn't say, well, our PM should walk out and this and that. And we're not there. We don't understand what they're looking at.
No, I disagree. I hear what you're saying, but I disagree because, look, you're a leader, and so what if you walk out? So does that mean that they have a right to take away your thing?
Yes, they do.
I am saying if you walk out, yes, they have the right, but will they just do it? And if they do it, then what do you say? So you come back and you say to your people, well, I walked out of a forum where I did not agree with so and so, and they took away my visa, and our people going to be sad for that?
There are people who walked out, I applaud them. There are others who didn't, and I don't condemn them. But to try to say our Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs should have walked out.
I felt they should have walked out.
I'm not taking a position.
I felt they should have walked out. That's your position, and you have a right to take it, and I have a right to take mine.
Right? Of course.
I feel they should have walked out because they would not have been walking out on their own. There were others who walked out. And as a matter of fact, when you look at the General Assembly after, it was virtually empty. So it says more for those who walked out than for those who stayed in. If you're going to stand in an almost empty forum and the world sees you there and you feel good with that, well, that's for you. That's your right. But me as a person, as the one who you're supposed to be representing, I have an issue with it. And I'm going to state it.
I have a message to send. I have a message to deliver on the part of my people. Okay? There's an international issue and a large swath of the delegation walk out. You walking out, how do you get to make your point?
So how did anybody else
get to make your point?
So
how do you get to speak?
So how did anybody else get to make their point? You can't walk out and walk back in when he finishes?
Everybody's portion is not the same.
So you can't walk back? I'm asking
Everybody's portion is not the same.
Can you not walk back in when he finishes? Could you not walk back in after Netanyahu finishes his speech? Who is going to stop you?
Here was it. I didn't condemn anybody.
Well, I condemn them.
So, right, you condemn who you want. But don't tell me I don't have a right to hold my point.
I did not. I said you have a right. I never said you don't have a right.
Right.
You're saying you're right and I'm saying mine.
I'm not going to slam Denzel Douglas as thing did. I'm not going to slam Mia Motley because she made a presentation. So you didn't listen to the whole thing in its entirety.
I see.
But you started to slam here with the Indian leader.
So basically,
How do you mean you didn't listen to the thing in its entirety? I am
saying the person, not you.
Oh, well, I am saying...
Jam Down could not have listened the program in its entirety because Mayor Motley spoke.
Okay.
And she condemned Israel and all of them.
Yes, and my
But you're saying that she didn't represent it.
And my understanding is that Mayor Motley walked out.
You see, I can't comment because I didn't see it.
So you got your point of view now?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Jam Down is saying that Mayor Motley should do so and so because she could speak about the region, but she spoke.
Yes, she spoke.
It was while Netanyahu was making his presentation at the UN, a large swath of the delegation walked out on him. So there's an issue now you're saying that Denzel Logan should walk out too and this and that and that. That's your point of view?
Yes, it is.
So what I'm saying, when people walk out, our delegation didn't walk out?
We have it
No,
here in
they did not.
We have it here in
Oh, okay,
Parliament.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
We have it here
I
in
only
Parliament
learned
to
that.
get
I
times.
only learned that this morning. You know. I
You see,
didn't
that's
know
what
that.
I'm saying. I didn't see
There are
that.
times in our very own Parliament when certain speakers are speaking, people walk out. It happens all the time.
You see, I can't speak on what I don't know.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know. I didn't know
Right.
that.
We know how Netanyahu stands on the world stage. We know what he represents. And all it was a message to say to Netanyahu, when you go up there to speak, we don't want to hear you. After you finish, we'll come back in and the General Assembly will continue just
At
as
the
it was
same
going on
time,
before.
you walk out on his enablers.
And whose enablers?
Netanyahu, Trump. Walk out on he too. Because he is Netanyahu's enabler.
So I don't have a problem with that either. So what is your point?
My point is, and I wasn't trying to make a point,
Oh, well,
if
I
you're going to
thought so.
condemn one, by your action, condemn all.
I agree. I don't disagree with that. That's how I stand. So we concur on
Because
this. then.
you are sitting there and encouraging, acknowledging his enabler, right? Chatting nonsense.
I agree.
But when Netanyahu comes on now, you walk out.
But then you know why they have to do that? Because of the point you made before. They want their visa. So I'm glad you brought it up. Anyway.
We got to 11:45, and it's been just spirited. And I asked a question about Assata Shakur,
Yeah.
and you answered to some point, but let me speak to the larger.
Let me say this, Socrates. No, the reason why Assata Shakur was able to stay in Cuba so long because the United States government wanted Cuba to give her up.
They pressured them
Yeah,
as best
and
they
Cuba
could.
never did.
No.
So that's why I'm saying, no, you will hear some people come and say, no, like I was on a different program before, talking about what is taking place in Cuba. So I mentioned to them, I said, Sister Assata Shakur is in Cuba, and the United States government is doing everything in order to get her back, and they're not giving her back. So we have to stand with Cuba. You see? But what I'm saying is that our people don't understand these things, so I'm glad that you raise it.
And
because
Kalanji, that is a perfect point because you know what the prosecution Cuba has gone through. And Cuba knows that the persecution is going to get worse, but yet still Cuba stands on
They cannot
principle.
acquiesce.
You see, they stand on principle.
Yes.
Yes, basically.
But Cuba, to a large extent, was a proxy, seen as a proxy, and they were supported because they know they had defense of Russia. On your own, you couldn't stand. Look at Venezuela, the situation. China is saying, hey, we have an interest here. We have an interest in Venezuela. So Trump have to back off. He's braggadocio, but he have to back off because he doesn't want any entanglement with China. Any
No.
military entanglement. To the phone lines we go. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good morning, the King.
Good morning.
Good morning to your guest, Kalanji. And
Blessed
good morning
love.
to the man behind the studio, Quint.
The Q.
I'm juggling here, so sometimes time elapse with my device. And I heard I saw the chain of thought as to why the president of Colombia, Mr. Petros, got his visa revoked. Mr. Petros' visa's revocation was not as a result of what transpired in the sitting of the United Nations. It was alleged and he was accused of saying something at a rally to do with the Palestinians, where he would have probably said to the United States Army to disobey the government. And as a result of that, as for what happened in the United Nations, I want to believe that the sitting in the United Nations is one of the free space for anybody to say certain things, not anything. As an astute politician, one will want to say things in diplomatic ways. But at the sitting at the United Nations would be the ideal and appropriate place for anyone to demonstrate like a genocide. And one of the more palatable way is for when the genocidal accuser is being presented. That would be the most ideal time to just walk out. And can you be penalized for that? No. There are times when certain people are talking and they see the United Nations is empty, whether they attend or whether they decide to walk out. So walking out cannot give and allow the United States, because the United Nations is in New York, a state in the United States, the prerogative of who's president in the United States to say, well, I'm going to revoke your visa because you walk out against a genocidal event.
They
where you see
also
with the
denied
European
visa
nations,
access to
they're signing on to it now.
Palestinians. They also denied visa access to Palestinians. They denied them a voice being heard there. And that is why, in reaction to that, people walked out when
the
Netanyahu was
United
speaking.
Nations, the United States denied a visa to the Palestinians because the United States and Israel, they are in cahoots. So the United States had the United Nations located elsewhere in another nation. Let us ask the question, would have been so that people who more nations are recognizing as a state would be denied to be represented at the highest forum? I doubt that. And so because other European nations had already decided, unbeknown to the ordinary people, you and I, as to what their stance would be in the next sitting, the 80th sitting of the United Nations, they are saying it. Australia, France, Spain, not Italy as yet, but Canada and other nations are saying it. Because Israel's intention is not to create a two-party state, but to annex even the West Bank, in which Donald Trump said to them they cannot do it. Maybe Donald Trump realized that he cannot give the green light to Israel because he sat there and allowed Israel to bomb Qatar.
Donald is owned by Israel. They're
Right?
owned.
So this is what is happening. I just wanted to weigh in on that part there, and I agree
we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Went behind the scene about people's diplomacy on that high level ought to be exerted in a way of showing solidarity, especially to genocidal people. Imagine Israel suffered under genocide, as we were told by the Christian Hitler. You, as a person who suffered genocide, wants to inflict genocide on another people?
They supported apartheid. They helped to finance apartheid, which was encouraged by America. Margaret Thatcher and what's her name there, when we got branded Mandela a terrorist, and they refused to allow him to come out of prison. They sanctioned his detention.
It
So
was Mandela
Israel-
who said that he reached out to the U.S. at first.
Who?
And the U.S. did not pay him any mind.
Who's
and then
that?
when he reached to Cuba and Cuba assisted, now the journalists, they are pressuring Mandela as to why did you go to Cuba?
Yeah,
and
with
Mandela
Bishop.
stated his case. He went on to the U.S. first and they denied him.
It happened with
assistance.
Bishop. It happened with Maurice Bishop. He reached out to Canada. They denied him. He reached out to the UK. They said, no, because you overthrew democratically elected government. That was the excuse. He didn't want to go to Cuba. Court and though the hardline members, they were the ones who, and he was against it. But when they had the issue in Grenada now, they used that as a pretext to go in and represent the rescue the students over there in a medical university. And then shortly after, Ronald Reagan became a hero in Grenada. Because they used
on
the
another note,
Charles.
though, the King, Kalanji, well, I'm proud that someone had, because you're part of a committee that we would need represented, albeit the lack of preparation or the preparation to go there and to have a broader perspective and to widen the scope as to making linkages and so forth. Time may not permit, but it should be always first and foremost in the back of our mind that this is the ultimate objective. When we go to the continent, some diasporal representation must be have at the highest level. How to make inroads into agriculture, cultural exchanges, land ownership. As you know, land is very critical, and land ownership, wheresoever our birthright is, we have to lay claim to it. And our birthright also definitely is on the continent of Africa. As some people will deny it, but rightly so, our birthright lies there. So whenever in future, may not be you, but it's supposed to be on the agenda. It's supposed to be a part of any organization blueprint that these things should be first and foremost. Thanks for listening.
Much appreciated. What I want to suggest that at this point in time, we got about 6 minutes to go. We take an extension break, and when we come back,
No, don't bother with this station break.
Okay, fine. So we got about 6 minutes to go. I would like you to focus again, more or less a recap on what the topic of the day was. You going to Addis Ababa as a member of the reparations committee, what your impressions were, what your expectations are coming out of that. And, well, it's actually your first official report to the people. Okay? So take us to that, and let's refocus on that particular aspect, which I think was really, really important.
Well, all of what transpired today in terms of the distractions that we encounter.
Now, he said it was a distraction.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying, Quint was right on point. What I'm saying is that when it comes to certain things like what Miss Henry and Gregory's, that is our fault. I want to pose a question to them. Did the Indians in India sell themselves?
Man, we're talking about your journey.
I come into that, Brother Socrates. I just want to, address that particular thing. Because what I realize is only when it comes to us that we do these things to ourselves. Case in point again. The native people was liquidated here. France and England was fighting a war at the time. They stopped the war, link up together and liquidate the native people. Did the native people did it to themselves? And I rest my case there. So let's get back to this thing now. So I'm saying, brothers and sisters, my journey to Ethiopia was great. And I see the potential of our people reuniting with each other and coming together. It's all in motion. And it is going to be a process. It's not going to be easy. But I think it will happen in our lifetime quicker than we think. Because, like I said before, the geopolitical forces that is happening going to force us, we ain't got a choice. And the walking out of the UN, it's going to come a time when we're going to watch them. You understand? When him going to look back. Because I tell you, brothers and sisters, everything is in motion. And I'm saying, brother, the president of Ghana at the UN said Africa is the future. And Africa and African people is the future. And we are the ones who's going to save humanity. So I'm saying, I'm calling, even before he went to Africa, even when Team Unity was in, right? I called for a political ceasefire. We are saying we need unity right here at home. All this back and forth, right? This political rivalry. We have to come together and resolve our contradictions.
With 3 minutes to go.
Based on principle.
Answer me these questions. In leaving the forum, was there an agenda announced? Was there a time frame given? When is the next meeting? At what stage? When the next meeting? What will be discussed there?
Well,
the agenda.
The
We're here now. Next meeting is when? Where do we expect to be in the journey of the discussion? That is all I want to get from you.
Well, the CARICOM Secretariat made a statement on the African Union. I don't have it with me, right? But the Prime Minister proposed, our Prime Minister proposed that the next meeting should be in the Caribbean, between the African Union and CARICOM.
Calendar year.
No, he didn't give a specific time, but he's saying the next meeting should be in the Caribbean.
And the agenda then should be? Discussion then should be what?
All of that.
We go from this stage to that stage.
Yeah.
So at that point, at what stage should we be in the form?
All of that wasn't
was
fleshed out.
articulated.
No. So what I'm saying is that the CARICOM Secretariat and they put out a statement. Like I said, I don't have it with me.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm trying to show you, brother, is that, and our people, is that we are on the march.
Yeah, but I didn't want it to come over as another talk shop.
Yeah.
I want to get tangibles.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, the talk shop gonna be there, but like I'm saying, brother, we have to talk in order to get these things concrete. There's a lot of talk gonna happen, but like I say, it's gonna happen. It will happen. And as a Pan-Africanist and as a Rastaman, these are things that we dream about, and we see it coming together.
What Granny say?
What Granny say? Love one another, respect one another, and struggle for the unification of our people, not only here in the Federation, but throughout the whole African diaspora.
Okay. The recording that you mentioned about your speech.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.